To hear this week's full episode as well as these artist picks, make sure to head on over to Spotify today. This is Off the Record, a radio playlist where I help you discover new artists and new music. We have a really exciting interview. I'm here with singer, songwriter, indie pop artist Sawyer Utah, who just released his newest EP, When the Sun Goes Down. Sawyer, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm pumped to be here with you.
Dude, it's been such a solid rollout. Honestly, every single that you dropped off the project too, like consistently, was like hit after hit after hit. I'm really curious, who were your musical influences growing up? Not so much like the artists you were discovering, but who was playing music around you and what do you remember them playing?
Totally. Oh man, my parents, we just had a lot of music going on. We were watching American Idol a lot. That was one of my
Nice.
probably biggest influences just overall when I was a kid. I was always watching, always inspired. That's really what got me into playing guitar when I was younger.
Really?
And man, everyone from like Chris Daughtry is a super like top when I think of my childhood and who like got me even into playing guitar. He's right up there for sure. Yeah.
That's so cool. Is there like a season that you remember so vividly growing
Oh
up?
man. Oh, some of those early ones, like definitely the Daughtry year. Man, there's like some like Taylor Hicks. I mean, there's some people that like just come into my brain. It was like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I watched these and loved it and was so inspired. But yeah.
Well, I'm excited to talk about the EP. Let's dive a little bit into the name of the title, When the Sun Goes Down, and that super far star at the end. How did you come to choosing that as your title for the EP?
Yes. So for each EP, the first EP, Wherever You Are, I kind of had just a list of maybe 10 or so that I was going through. And I was just like, I felt right with that one. But then when it came to this, I honestly had one other that I was thinking of, but just the whole time it felt like When the Sun Goes Down just felt right. And I usually just go with my gut on those titles because I'm just like, what embodies everything that I'm making? Whether it be sonically, whether it be visually, whether it be just even lyric, like there is a lyric in Cars that's When the Sun Goes Down,
Uh-huh.
and which happened kind of actually at the end, maybe even after I decided that was the EP name. Ended up writing that in Cars, but there's so many different meanings that I'm excited for people even that listen to Cars especially to get
Yeah,
different meanings from. So yeah.
that's so awesome. Let's talk a little bit about your process as a songwriter. What was it like putting these songs together for this project?
Yes, man, they all spanned a lot of time. Like a couple of them I made a while back when I was in LA, when I was working with some different amazing writers and producers. And then some of them recently, like Play With My Heart, Cars, and Lady, were just ones where I was just kind of with my headphones on, whether it be in New York or Nashville, just kind of in my own world creating. So they really do like all have their own story and kind of own like birthplace of how they came to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, Play With My Heart, some of those latest ones were for sure my just like in my world, just kind of creating. Yeah.
Where do you draw a lot of your inspiration from right now?
Yeah, man, probably I would say so much life experience, just whether it be out in the world, whether it be in the studio, even with other artists, always inspiring me to like create even more, whether it be even like fan interaction and just when we're out playing shows or whatever it is, like everything kind of contributes to like, okay, like let me just dive into what I'm kind of what's going on in my life and see
Yeah.
see what comes of it. Yeah. Yeah.
That's so cool. What is your process like writing for yourself versus writing for other artists? Because you like have your hand right now in so many artists' pots, which I think is so beautiful about like your sonic universe. What does that
Yes.
kind of look like?
Man, it's honestly it makes it so much fun, and I love it so much because I'm just like in so many different, whether it be rooms or just by myself. It keeps it so inspiring for me when I come back to my project, because I think when I'm working with other artists, it's definitely like I want to do everything that they want to do. So it's just like I'm there to just like drive the ship and just be there for anything, like anything sonically or lyrically that they want to dive into. I'm like, let's do it. And we're in a studio and the energy's high, we're blasting it on the speakers, we're pumped and all that. And then I would say when it comes to my project, if I'm not working with people, it's a very, very different experience because I usually
Really?
have my headphones on, there's nothing going on, and all you hear is like me making noises into the microphone or like just by myself in my complete own world. So it's definitely different for sure, whether it's on my project or someone else's. Yeah, yeah.
I always like to ask songwriters if there's been a moment where you've been in a session with other artists and you've given out like a lyric or even like a full song and you've been like, oh shoot, that I wish I would have kept that one for myself.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I think when I like a few years ago when I was originally like more getting into working with other artists, I definitely had those thoughts of like, should I be like giving all this away? Should I be like doing this? And then it got to a point where I was like, you know what? All the art that is being created, whether it's for me or for someone else, it's all just an extension of me and those other artists. And it's kind of like I just got to a point where I was like, you know what? Like, no matter what happens, it's meant to be in the song, and
Yeah.
whatever's best for the song, I just end up
Oh,
resorting
that's
to.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
That's so awesome. Well, what are you hoping audiences take away from the project?
Yes. Oh my gosh. There's so many um lyric little meanings and stuff when you go through the songs that I hope people can connect to and people find comfort in and find things in their life that maybe they're listening to these songs like, oh my gosh, I maybe didn't look at it that way, or however it can help them. And sonically too, like I feel like sonically in my world of my artist project, that's such a big part of it, is creating the like landscape and the feeling. And so I hope that people will just connect to it, whether it be lyrically, sonically, everything, just connect to it and watch the visuals. Maybe they get something from those even that they didn't
Yeah.
see in the song. So yeah,
Speaking about the visuals, I have to
yeah,
ask because when I saw the car and
yeah,
I saw the license plate,
yes.
my first thought was, is this an actually licensed license plate?
I'm sad to say it is not.
Uh,
I know it's sad because it should be, and maybe one day, but it's the retro. It is a real retro Utah plate though, as in like
okay.
that is their black and white. That was a thing in Utah, which is kind of cool. So,
Okay. You know what?
yeah,
I'll take that answer. I'm
yeah,
happy
yeah.
that it's that and not like printed off an HP printer. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
No, exactly. We got it. Yeah, we got a plate print. Actually, two of them. We put one on the front, one on the back. And yeah, man. Yeah, that
That's
was a fun part too. Yeah, yeah.
that's another beautiful thing about your work is like visually it like fully comes together and it matches your sound. Sometimes we see artists um release both their visuals and it doesn't match up to what the project is. And I think that's really cool. Did you have a hand in that? And who kind of was your creative director if it wasn't you?
Totally. Shout out Orchie Sorker. She has been every step of the way, really for the last like, I don't know, we've probably been working for a year, two now. And really just diving into the vision. I think I'll hit her at like 2 a.m. and I'll be like, yo, like this song I'm seeing, like even the cars video, we did like a short form clip that kind of came from the music video, but it really stemmed from like, okay, like even the night before I was telling her like I want this on the newspaper that's in the video and just all that sort of stuff, and she has been just the best in just like creating things that I'm like seeing my brain, but I'm like how do I get all this out.
That's
and
so
then and then
cool.
she has such great ideas too that we just bounce back and forth, and
It
yeah,
sounds like you
she's
have
really
like a
amazing.
good synergy with each other
Yes,
creatively.
totally,
That's
yeah,
so cool. Well, it's
yeah.
time for my favorite question. I asked you to bring three songs from three other artists, and feel free to elaborate a little bit on why you picked these.
Yes, totally. So the first one I'm gonna go to right now for me that I just love this song, "E Samo" by Bleachers. I
Uh,
saw it coming up on there, like on Jack and Bleachers is like top 10 on Spotify. I was like, yes, because I love that song. It's just one that I come back to all the time. Just such a great feeling. I love that
have
song.
you seen Bleachers live?
Oh my gosh, no. And I need to so badly.
I've
So
gone
bad.
3 times.
Really? How
Every
was it?
time has been an experience.
Oh my god.
Like, if you want to see someone take a stage, that's a show.
I have to go. I saw they just announced a tour. I have to go. I have to go.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah. I think
Oh,
this
shoot.
summer. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Oh
gonna
my
be
god.
sick.
Yeah, yeah, I have to. 100%.
I love it.
So that was one of them, and then another one that I just found like a couple weeks ago. Shout out Charlotte Plague, brand new artist that I had never heard before. It came across my feed. It's called Cry Baby Blue, and I literally have listened to it probably like 50, 100 times since I first found it. It's like totally,
Really?
yeah, like I don't know where I found it, but I just was all of a sudden like, okay, I need to bring this song because I love it. And I've been listening
Are
to it
you one of those
nonstop.
people when you like discover a song, it's like that's the only song we're listening to for the week?
It kind of is. Like even right now, like the Harry Styles album, American Girls,
Yeah.
I like it's always when I go on a run every morning, I'm like hitting that one like every time.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. And then the third song I was gonna say, but I think I'll say another one because it's already out. But I was gonna say Daredevil by Zach Hood because it's coming out in
Okay.
April, and we worked on this song. It's been a long time coming. I'm so excited for the song to be out. But I'm gonna plug his latest other song, which is Southern Belle, that we worked on a few months ago. So it's a fun song. Yeah, yeah. We
That's
played
so
on
cool.
tour and stuff. Yeah, yeah.
I definitely caught you guys when you guys were
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
Fonda
Oh
back in
yeah.
out here in LA.
Heck yeah. Oh my gosh, that show was so much fun.
Yeah, that was
Heck yeah.
awesome.
Thanks
Well,
for
that's
coming.
such a solid lineup right there.
No, thank you. So much fun. Let's
Well,
go.
Sawyer, thank you so much for coming and gabbing with me about the project. And I hope everyone enjoys my favorite song on it, Where Did You Go?
You like a smooth glass of wine, you know how to go
This is
easy,
Off the
make
Record, a
yourself.
radio playlist where I help you discover new artists and new music. Today, we're special. We're lucky. We're blessed because Nick Rod is here for round two. Nick, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. How are you?
Dude, I'm good. First off, I gotta say, like on camera, I said it off camera, but shout out to you. I literally messaged Nick last night and I was like, I'm thinking about rerunning our previous episode, but if you have time tomorrow, can we chat? And like, you totally made it work, so I
Yeah,
appreciate.
let's get it done. Let's get it done.
Okay, something we didn't talk about last time that I've been like pondering on and been wanting to talk to you about is about your time at Berkeley and like how that kind of like influences your music, the people you're collaborating with. Do you kind of want to dive a little bit into that?
Yeah, for sure. So I love Berkeley. I have a love disconnect relationship with it because I've never been like a super school person. So
Yeah.
so the whole process of like going to class and sitting down and like sitting still for 2 hours is a little bit difficult for me. That's the only thing. But the people that I've been able to like meet through Berkeley and connect with and collab with, and a lot of them are lifelong friends now, has been such a blessing. So I wouldn't have it any other way. And we get that piece of paper in May, so I'm excited
Oh
about
my
that.
gosh, you're almost there, dude.
Yeah,
That's
right
so
there, right at the finish line.
well, since the last time we talked, when we talked, you put out Missing,
Right.
and that feels like so long ago. Since
Yeah,
then,
it
you've
does
released so
feel.
many rocks. One of my favorite being a Glass of Wine. That one is a freaking earworm. Let's talk a little bit about your process and how these tracks came to be.
Yeah, so one of the things I really want to do with my catalog is have it be diverse and be consistent and, always be feeding people new music. And I think it's a blessing and a very cool thing to do to drop a song where someone who's a usual listener will hear it and be like, whoa, I was not expecting that. I think that's super cool because I love when artists do that. Whenever they drop something and I'm super surprised and taken back and like, whoa, they can do this type of stuff. So I've always wanted to do that. Glass of Wine was another one of those. And it was just one of those songs that I went to the studio and I made like the production for it. And sometimes, especially these songs that I think are really, really good, a lot of times they just write themselves, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
And that was definitely one of them. So yeah, and everybody loves that song and it's done very well. Despite I didn't do a music video for it, I didn't really do any promotion for it. So that's really cool, and that's one thing I might go back and shoot a video for because
yeah,
I haven't. But
that's
yeah,
so good.
love that song. I think that song's dope.
What is your writing process kind of looking like right now? The last time we talked, it was a little bit more. I don't want to use the word secluded, but it was you was kind of like in your own little world. It seems like now you're collaborating with a bunch more people. What's it looking like?
Yeah, for sure. So usually I'll just go in and try and get an idea off, whether it's a lyric I want to build around or just a beat I'm starting to make. And then, like I said, like a lot of times those songs will write themselves. So in a day I'll be able to have a pretty good foundation of a song. production, lyrics, and even if I haven't recorded it yet, I would like have a vision for what I want it to go. So a lot of times, especially now that I'm getting more into the instrumental and acoustic side of things, a little bit more away from the hip hop stuff, I'm able to bring it to people that I think can elevate the track. Whether it's a guitar solo, whether it's recording drums in the studio or bass, things like that. So, so I usually just sit down and get an idea off, um, record a demo, and then I'll send it off to people, or I'll go to the studio with people, um, and just like build it again from the ground up. So
Yeah.
that's what it's kind of been looking like recently, which is new and exciting, and it's dope to be able to collab with people that I feel can elevate the vision that I have for the tracks.
A lot of the people that you're collaborating with, are they in the Boston area, or are you kind of venturing out into other cities?
Yeah, so my main collaborators, Elliot Mitchie Harris, who he does a lot of stuff with Benno as well. He's one of my best friends. He's drummer for most of these new songs. So we'll go into the Berkeley studios and track a bunch of takes of drums, of live drums. And then Tommy, who's another one of my best friends, he's a kick-ass guitarist. So I'll send things over to him, or I'll go to his house and I'll have him rip a guitar solo on the songs. And then Toby, who also does stuff with Benno, he graduated from Berkeley, so he's not usually in Boston. For him, I'll usually just like send the track to him and we'll send stuff back and forth. So those have been like my main three
That's
big
cool.
collaborators on the production side of things recently.
That's really cool. Okay, so you've been doing these TikTok live streams.
Yeah,
And what I love how, like, for you as an artist, how you've been doing them compared to other artists, because I go on TikTok live and like kind of like as the A&R mindset, that's how I go and find new artists. But what you do is like most artists will get out there with a guitar, play a couple
right.
songs, be like, what cover do you want me to hear? I love how you've kind of like put the twist on it, and where you're asking people to share music and then you slide your music into it. So it's
Yeah,
not like
yeah,
a let me just push myself onto you.
yeah.
What has creating that process kind of been like?
It's been dope. I need to lock in and get more consistent with it for sure recently. 'Cause I've been kind of busy with all the new music, but it's dope because I'm, like you said, it's not like I'm advertising myself. It's not like just pushing my music down people. People get to actually share things that they like with me, and also if they're already a fan, get my opinion on anything that they like,
Yeah.
which I think is a nice little, like you said, a twist on how things usually go. Um, and not just that, like sometimes we'll just like talk about things and talk about life, and I think that's really cool that I can build a better, bigger connection,
Yeah. A
rather
community,
than just,
truly.
yeah, a community for sure, rather than just saying, oh, here's my music, listen to my music, please share my music and this and
Yeah.
that. People are actually talking to me, and they'll get my advice on things and ask me questions and talk about life. So I think that's a beautiful thing. I definitely need to be on it more for sure. But
Has
yeah.
has there been any artists or songs that you've discovered through there that you've been coming back to?
Yeah, there's actually a couple, and sometimes I'll get other artists that want to share their music with me. Um, I'm trying to get off the top of my mind. There was this girl Lex who was really freaking good. I remember she came in. Um, there's a couple, but
Yeah.
it's always a cool experience. And then if their music is really good and I really like it, we'll follow each other on TikTok, and then
That's cool.
we're fully connected, which is dope.
Something that you said on there, I was in like one of your streams and you said this, and it like really resonated with me, and like especially since I get to interact with so many artists. But you talked about like why you don't want to put out an album at this time, why that's not in the cards for you. Do you kind of want to
Yeah.
elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. I think I just really want to build where I'm at, and I want to go very far in this music stuff. So I know even though there's growth happening and there's community building already, I just want to push it to another level before I sit down and drop an album. Also, this is another thing that I got from Russ, that people's attention spans today are so short. So his whole thing when he was blowing up, he had dropped 12 albums, no singles. And he was like, why do I still only have 100 followers? Like, what's going on here? The music's fire. And then he would sit down and look at the metrics on every album, and it was all the same. The first song was the best song. Maybe the second song if there was like a big feature, and then it would go down, 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 down all the way to the bottom.
Wow.
So he was like, you know what? Let me just drop one song albums, and then everybody will listen to the one song that I put out. And if I do it like he did, a song a week, then I could get an album off in 2 months, no problem.
Yeah.
So that's kind of been my mindset. I think people, I have a nice little community, a nice little fan base right now. But for an album, I really want, when I drop an album, I want it to be a
A
major
big
event.
impact.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
big impact in my life and in other people's lives. So I think holding off on that right now until I'm at that level where I feel comfortable and, okay, this is, people are going to be waiting on this and ready for it to happen. And, and it'll definitely be a big milestone in my life because I
Yeah.
haven't done one. So yeah, that's kind of the reason why I'm just pushing it back. And I think just dropping because also people will drop an album and then you won't hear about them for 8 months, because here's all my music from the last year, right? So I think being able to be consistent and just be in front of people's faces all the time, every week or every 2-3 weeks, and drop singles, one song albums, like you said, I think is the move for me right now.
It's so smart. And I didn't really connect that until after you said it, and I was like, I'm gonna tell anyone that I know as an artist that's like, I want to put on an album. Like, no, don't do it. Just wait.
Not ready yet. Yeah, not
Just
yet.
wait.
Even if the music is ready, like sometimes the world building has to be at a higher
Yeah.
level. I think for where I want to go, not everybody is the same. A lot of
Yeah.
people they just want to put out music to put out music, and that's fine. But when you're really trying to build a career, I think that's the smartest path to go about it.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the single you shared with me today. I know it's going to come out maybe mid-April, which is a full, like, I said this to you off camera, 180 of what you normally put out, which
Yeah.
is super refreshing too. Like, and like you mentioned, when artists change up what they're doing, it's super exciting. Let's talk a little bit about this single and what it was like putting it together.
Yeah, so this was another one that it was an idea that I had. I did like some programmed drums on it, and and it was one of those songs that it wrote itself, and I know people are gonna be like, "Are you heartbroken?" It was just like the song just had to. That was what it had to be. I felt.
Yeah.
And I was able to pull past experience from my life and from other people's lives as well. Create like a beautiful tragedy of a song. I feel like
Yeah.
I think it's so broken yet beautiful, and I think that's the best part about it. So it was one of those ideas that it wrote itself. I wrote it in like a night or two, and then I got Toby, Elliot, Tommy all to get on it, which was super cool. So it went piece by piece. I think we did drums first, then guitar solo, and then bass was the last thing that we added. And I also went back and re-recorded vocals on that for like a million
Really?
times. Yeah, because I was like, this is so good. I just wanted it. I just wanted to get it perfect. So I think it's there now, and I'm really excited. I think people are going to be like, what the heck is going on here? Like, this is crazy, crazy difference. And a lot of people tell me that I've shown it to, that it's their favorite song of mine, and it's the best song that I've put out. Even though it's not out yet, but
it's super stripped down compared to your typical production. Your typical production like is sonic and world building, where this one is like truly like in a moment. And so I think
yes,
that's what I love most about this new track, and I'm so excited for it to drop.
me too. I'm excited. It's gonna be dope.
What do you hope audiences take away from it?
I think they can either connect it with something that they've been through in their lives, or just. I always say, as an artist, my job is to express life. It's not to be a bunch of love songs or a bunch of sad songs or a bunch of hype songs. Like, all of those things and all those emotions are a part of the human experience. So I think it's just one other lane of the human experience that I haven't really tapped into yet.
Yeah.
So I think, and that's another thing with the catalog. I want people to listen to the catalog full through and take away bits and pieces from their lives that they can connect with, rather than a lot of artists are just one part of the human experience. I think, we go through everything as humans. We're not just all happy or all sad. So being able to tap into something new that is a part of it, I think, is a beautiful thing. So I'm really
That's
excited
so
about
cool.
it.
I'm excited too. It's gonna be such a fun release.
Yeah.
Well, it's time for my favorite part, and you're no stranger to this. I asked you to bring
Yes.
3 songs from 3 other artists, and you know the drill. Feel free to elaborate a little bit on why you picked these.
Yeah. So first one I'm gonna say is "Enough for Me" by Graham. I'm not sure if you've heard of him yet.
Oh,
He just dropped an album, and I think this song is going a little bit viral. He's another independent artist. He works with Nick D and Connor Price, who are right now, besides Russ, like the top dogs of the independent lane. So I've been,
yeah.
taking inspiration from the way that they've been doing things and attacking things. Um, and he produces like a lot of their stuff. And he's just like a bedroom producer. He stays at home, stays out of trouble, and makes
Wow.
fire music. So something that I, take inspiration from for sure. That song is dope enough for me by Graham. Another one is She Knows Too Much. Thundercat just dropped that has Mac Miller on it. I'm not
Ooh.
sure if you heard it. That song is a banger. And I don't know. I didn't even know it was coming out. I had heard it because I used to dive into the Mac Miller unreleased rabbit
Yeah,
hole on YouTube and stuff. But when it came out with its full mix and its full release, that one blew me away. She Knows Too Much by
that's cool.
Thundercat and Mac Miller. And the last one is Bluish by Father of Peace. It's another band that I found on Instagram or TikTok, I can't remember. And they are just killing the content game. Like their stuff
That's
is so
cool.
cool and so different too. It's like very refreshing. So that one's Bluish by Father of Peace.
I
That
love
one's
it.
dope too.
All right, before I let you go, next week I'm having the spring break episode. I gotta know what is like something on your spring break bingo card or bucket list that you have to do.
Well, I've been on spring break this week and I've been wanting to go to the beach, but it's been like raining every single day. So
No.
my spring break has been kind of boring this year, but going to the beach would for sure be one. Besides, I've just been staying in and making music, which is can't really complain about, but
No.
it's been all
Well,
right.
Nick, I appreciate you. Thank you again so much for last minute coming on,
No
talking with
problem.
me.
Thank you for having
And
me.
I hope no, anytime, literally anytime you want to come on down, come on down. I'm
Thanks.
like that girl going to Disney World. If you want to come on down, then come on down.
Love it. I love it.
Well, I hope everyone enjoys my favorite of your new releases, Glass of Wine.